I wish I felt sorry. I wish I felt guilty, and I wish that I felt something other than hate every time I thought of you. 'Cause I remember, I remember long talks in the props loft, you getting to know me and me getting to know you. I remember your presence when I cried that day before spring break. I remember how you helped me when I was broken, even after we fought. I can remember all of those times, and yet I can also remember the day my best friend didn't come to school because of you. You asked her to do something sexual with you, and then you asked her not to tell me. Like hell she'd ever listen to you. I remember when she told me what you'd done, the cold shock that you had, and yet somehow I wasn't surprised. I remember over the summer when we started talking again and you started flirting. I remember that you'd text me one day and then you'd disappear for a week. I became afraid of you. I stopped answering you because you caused my heart to stop every time I felt you text me. I didn't want you to call because I was afraid you'd see the fear in my heart, even though I knew I was good at hiding it. I remember coming back from camp, after purposefully forgetting to tell you where I was simply because I didn't feel like a panic attack. I remember you asked me why I left you on red, even though I knew that I had stopped sending you red notifications. I remember feigning apologies because I didn't want to hurt you. I wanted you to feel like the end of our friendship was your choice. I remember coming back from camp with a story about a girlfriend who didn't want to be known. That's why I couldn't tell you. See, unlike you, I try to keep my promises because I know how much it hurts when one gets broken. I asked you not to tell and you promised. Then you turned around and told my best friend. She told me, of course, because she values me more than she values you. I knew when I texted you that day, knowing that if you didn't end the friendship there, I would. But you were predictable, and as soon as it all got hard, you ran away. I don't think you've ever had to work at getting a girl to like you before. Welcome to me. Once you meet a girl who has mastered the art of manipulation, you can't manipulate her as easily, can you? I mean, along with mastering that art, I also had a girl in my head who had dated someone just like you. A boy who started out nice and then tried to change her. A boy who convinced her to try new things, eventually cornering her and stripping her innocence from her time and time again. You got so mad when I compared you to him. You said you were nothing like him, but then I remembered the first time you told me that you wanted to fuck me. I told you I was asexual, and then you said something along the lines of, well, I don't need your consent to fuck you. I went dead silent then. And you never mentioned it again, but I always remembered the boy who said he could rape me. You say that you can never be loved, but what you don't realize is that no one can love someone who doesn't seem to have a heart. No one can love someone who keeps his heart so well hidden and doesn't seem to care when he twists their words in their heads and makes them think that everything they do is our fault, never yours. So, these are the things I wish I could tell you when I run into you at school, because I know I will. These are the reasons I'm afraid to see you again, because you've made me so angry that I don't think I'll be able to hold these thoughts in. And we know how that will end. I'll say something, you'll try to make it my fault, maybe you'll strike me, maybe I'll strike back. And we'll end up in the principal's office, me and the boy I once tried to protect, the boy I protected so well that in protecting him I condemned myself. Is that what you wanted? To make sure I could never turn you in? Because even though no one will believe my memories, I can still write them down. I can still shout them at the moon on a warm summer night, hoping the wind will carry my words to your unhearing ears, hoping that I can help you even though you don't want my help. I really wish I felt sorry for what I said. But it was my one small way of revenge for the way you treated me. I keep telling myself that hate isn't the way to go. And then I remember the boy who thought he could manipulate me. I remember that he almost succeeded. At that point, I don't hate you anymore. I hate myself for almost giving in to you. And then I remember that even though you're human, you don't have a soul to care whether I hate you or not. Then I remember the monster that lurks beneath the heart of gold. And I don't feel quite so bad for hating you anymore. And then I remember that every story has two sides, and that I'm the villain in your story as sure as you are the villain in mine. I wonder if you've imagined my death as much as I've imagined yours. I wonder why I can't let this go, and I realize it's because I'm afraid to forget what you could have done to me, and I'm afraid to let you go, and I'm afraid to stay, and I don't know what to do. Then I decide it's all up to me now, because you could never decide my life for me anyway. Your last words to me were, fuck you. No. You do not get to fuck me, not even now that I am gone, because you were never worth me. At least I had the decency to keep my promises to you. At least I showed you myself, even if you didn't like the view.